All right, so the Vikings and the Bucs, one of the games I think a lot of people are going to be paying attention to this week. I know I am for a couple of different reasons. One, the Vikings right in the mix in the playoffs. Their offense has been arguably over the last month and a half of the season, one of the better offenses in the league, probably a top 10 offense. Now the defense leaves a little bit to be desired as always, but the offense has been rocking and rolling. The Bucs coming off of a bye, one of the last team to have a bye in the NFL. And maybe, Brett, this was something this team really, really needed. They were having an incredible amount of success early in the season on the defensive side of the ball. We hit about week 9 and it started to slowly erode. About a week 8, week 9, week 10, we started to see this defense. I don't know if they were getting worn down. I don't know if other teams were getting enough tape where they were figuring out what they were doing that was giving them so much success early in the season. But something happened where this Bucs defense went from an elite unit to more of kind of like, okay, it's a good defense, but nothing that we're really afraid of at all. Another week for Antonio Brown to maybe get worked into the offense here for this team as well. Scotty Miller was a huge contributor to this team, and then he just gets shunned to the sidelines as soon as Antonio Brown gets active, and then this offense starts sputtering all over the place. So maybe they just needed a little bit of extra time to get him worked in as well. But we are looking at 6.5 right now in favor of the Bucs. 52.5 is your total.
Yeah, it's an interesting game. This line has not moved once on DraftKings this week. Open 6.5, has not budged. And I get it. I think this is a perfect number for this game. 7 feels too high, 6 feels too low to me. So I don't have a whole lot here. Feels like it should be a good spot to buy Minnesota after they nearly lost to a Jacksonville team that has literally nothing to play for except for the number 1 overall pick. But at the same time, they were already overvalued in the market, I felt like. So I don't know what to make of that team right now. And on the other side, this Bucs team coming off the bye. But yeah, unless they fix some of these issues on defense and even offense, I don't view them as an elite team that should be laying 7 against a playoff contender that can score points. So this is a full stay away for me. I'm interested to see what the Bucs look like off the bye, because we have seen flashes of them being, that elite team this year. Haven't seen it lately though. So yeah, that'll be interesting to watch.
Brad, this is an interesting one for me because I have the Bucs in that teaser rotation that I was talking to you about, but I also don't love the 6.5. I think so. It's weird for me that I'm like, I actually think the Bucs win the game. The 6.5 though is a little weird of a number for me. I mean, it's when you take a look at this Bucs defense, I mean, the advanced metrics still love them, but I mean, I think we all have enough. I mean, we've watched enough football. We have eyeballs. We've watched them over the last month and a half of the season. It is certainly not the same defense that we saw in the first half of the season. I mean, DVOA, they still like them. They're 3 overall. They PFF still likes them. They're 6 overall when it comes to that. I mean, so the advanced metrics do love them. Early down success defense is way up there. Early down EPA is way up there as well. So, I mean, there are a lot of different things that say this Bucs defense is still really, really good. I just have watched them get shredded by guys that I'm like, hey, something's not right here. On the offensive side of the ball, that's where I'm more interested in all of this, because that offense had gotten very, very clunky. And whether it was those guys wearing down, I mean, Brady's old. Mike Evans has battled injuries throughout the course of his career. Chris Godwin finally got the pins taken out of his finger that he was playing with. 10 pins in his finger. Like, what in the hell? And this guy's like playing with 10 pins in his finger. So, I mean,
doesn't drop the ball.
I know.
Drop the ball.
It's like, do they turn this around? Do they figure out, how to utilize Antonio Brown? That's like the biggest question for me with Tampa Bay. I have faith that they will be able to beat this Minnesota defense that really, to me, is pretty overrated. I think this defense has shown time and time again that they can get shredded. 6.5 right now, Brad, and also looking at a total up there at 52.5.
So I think the thing I'm most confident about here is the Bucs scoring some points. I don't think there's going to be any pass rush getting to Tom Brady whatsoever. The Vikings are one of these teams that we talk about where if they're neutral in the trenches, they've got the skill position players that they can beat you. They've got the cornerbacks that they can cover you. But if you block them and keep them out, then you can shred them here. And this is a very good offensive line and a very bad pass rush. So Brady's going to be sat back there, and we know the book on him now as well as an older player. Give him time, and he's probably going to shred you like what he did against the Panthers a couple of times. And what was interesting, that last game against the Chiefs, I was watching that one quite closely because I had a bet on. I think it lost. But Romo was saying that they were running a lot more New England plays rather than the Arians offense, which seems to be just go routes, which is just not that efficient. He was saying there was more New England plays out there, and Brady looked more comfortable running those concepts. So I would hope that that's been a lot of what they've been doing in the last couple of weeks, is just installing more of that. Right, this guy's won 5 Super Bowls running these concepts. Let's just do that again. Can we? So I would hope there'd be some of that. You would think Brady would benefit from the time off as well, being as you say, quite old. So I like them to score a lot of points. When the Vikings have the ball, I've been going backwards and forwards on this one for a while. I don't think they'll be able to run the ball with Dalvin Cook. They love the outside zone, and the Bucs are pretty much the best in the league at stopping the outside zone. So if you A, stop the run, and B, make them play from behind, then you've got Kirk Cousins just dropping back with no play action, and you knowing he's going to pass. And I don't think that's a good situation for Kirk Cousins. Obviously, they've got receiver talent, and looks like the cornerback Jamel Dean might be out. So they might move the ball a bit, but I'm more on the side that Kirk's going to struggle and throw a couple of picks. So I've not bet the game, but I think -6.5 is probably a shade of value. Or maybe the Bucs team total, and just stay away from the Viking side of it completely.
Yeah, I am. Like I said, this is part of that teaser rotation for me. I've taken the 6.5 down to basically a pick 'em. It's a half point. I just need the Bucs to win. This is like the ultimate cop out thing for me to say, but I feel like this is a field goal game, or the Bucs win by like 17. Like I don't feel like this plays any. I feel like this plays uber close, or the Bucs just go in and run them. And that's why I took it down to the half point, which gives me, all they got to do is basically go out and win this game. And I have a lot of respect for this Vikings offense. I mean, what Justin Jefferson is doing out there is ridiculous. I think he should be probably considered way more heavily for the Rookie of the Year than he has been. But they're kind of one dimension. They're kind of one dimension. They're a really good offense with a very mediocre defense, and I think the Bucs have more ways to win the game. That's why I ended up where I did on that one.